Hey guys, this is William with another video for Play-agricola.com's YouTube channel and twitch.tv/play_agricola. Playing an EIKWM France-Deck G45 game with JJ Lee 2929, Kreuzberg BR2, and Field Watchman. Gonna try streaming. Hopefully the internet holds up today. We sort of figured out what we think the issue is. We forgot, I don't know if any of you guys remember, but our condo board dug up our internet cable building a trench and severed it, so we lost our internet like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, and then the internet provider had to come back and lay a new cable, and then they came back and buried the cable like a week ago, and pretty much we've been having signal issues ever since they buried the cable. So what that means is that ideally these issues should be temporary, and as soon as they come and fix the signal issues, then we should be back to having near perfect internet. Looking at this first pile, I see Constable, Giant, Field Warden, Pioneer, Resource Dealer. I kind of think I want to take Field Warden. In a Constable game, the filling your farm is extremely important. So being able to do that safely seems like a good idea. And then with knowing Constable out there, a card like Pig Breeder coming back as a source of board, not on the board, is usually pretty good. Hey Midilal, hope you're doing well. Yeah, I agree. Field Warden is a good is the pick. Okay, this is kind of an interesting one. Animal Buyer is pretty good in a Constable game. With Field Warden, you usually want to do lots of family members, so like Hill Cultivator getting you more stuff seems okay. I like Dung Collector. I think Omni Farmer is reasonable, but I think the pick here is Blacksmith. Blacksmith is quite a nice card. You play it, you get to build a major improvement right away. It's quite a good card. Yeah. And then this pick, ooh. Well, Country Doctor is actually kind of an anti-combo with Field Warden. The issue is that Country Doctor, you want to obviously have your fields early, whereas Field Warden does them later. Like, Field Warden could get me Plow Sow in round 13, but then Country Doctor for Plow Sow in round 13 is not really worth all that much. We've got Writing Maniac, Mason's Apprentice, Aramite, Wood Deliveryman. All of these are, like, playable cards. Really hard to pass Country Doctor, but I think this is a Writing Maniac game. Like, Blacksmith with Writing Maniac is pretty nice because you build your major improvements outside of your turn, which is nice. Field Warden coming as the last Writing Maniac occupation is usually should be pretty good. Yeah, it's not the greatest, but yeah, passing Country Doctor is pretty brutal, but I think I have to. Well, Crop Rotator is pretty good. It's quite a good card. Otherwise, I'm looking at Haberdasher, gets me a grain. Bargain Hunter lets me play miners early. If I have a bunch of miners that I want to push out early, Bargain Hunter Writing Maniac is actually like okay at doing that. I would need a ton of food though, so I would definitely want something that gives me a bunch of food. Haberdasher is fine. Crop Rotator is probably the best card though for points, and especially if I'm going to Field Warden late in the game, yeah, should be okay. Okay, so Pioneer is interesting with Blacksmith in hand because getting an extra food in a stone can be very relevant. Um, I could take Quarryman. Quarryman kind of helps me feed my Raiding Maniac in the early game, so I could go that way. Or the other thing I'm thinking about is Giant, because Giant with Field Warden, I would be able to plow 2 fields in round 13 and 2 fields in round 14 unblockably with my last actions, which seems like a pretty strong situation to be in. And especially because Giant can be played outside of my turn with Raiding Maniac without using an action, that means I'm theoretically only gaining actions. So yeah, I think we try Giant here. So now I think I'm going to go for Hill Cultivator. Hill Cultivator with the Blacksmith, being able to get clay on the... Like if I take 1 grain twice and then play Blacksmith, Blacksmith will play my clay oven, bake 1 of the grain, and save a stone. Same with Stone Oven. I could think about Oven Inspector, but if I'm gonna have to go on the 1 grain space a bunch and the 1 vegetable space like twice or 3 times, Hill Cultivator can really add up. I think Animal Buyer is really worth considering in a Constable game. Really worth considering, but I think I like Hill Cultivator a bit better. Midilal says you need to somehow get a food engine going for large family and Writing Maniac. Yeah, and I think Hill Cultivator plus Blacksmith will help me do that. Don't think any of these other cards do it all that well. Well, I think I'll take Aramite. I don't know if I will play it or not, but I will certainly take Aramite. 1 food per round seems reasonable. Okay, well, Ground Pickaxe Plow is pretty interesting because it lets me, with Giant, do almost all my fencing, or all my plowing, right at the end of the game. Like with my last action of the game, pretty much. Other potential picks are Raspberries. Raspberries is quite nice. Which is Dance Ground in a Constable game. Greenhouse is fine. Beehive is pretty good. Yeah, I think it's between Beehive and Ground Pickaxe Plow. I think we'll go for the Ground Pickaxe Plow. With Field Warden, those plow actions at the end of the game are just going to be so dominant. Like, I'm going to get so many points at the end of the game. Hey, Gray says, first time watching live in a while. Awesome, welcome. Unfortunately, I'm having signal problems for my internet, so it might not be able to... there might be issues, but I'm planning on uploading the full video later as well. This pile looks pretty weak. I guess the best card is Meadow, but usually with Meadow you want a way of actually holding those animals. Like I could do Stables. Stables are fine. But yeah, the rest of these are all very weak. Flagon is fine, but not great. If all my miners are going to be pretty weak, though, then I definitely am happy about taking Aramite. So I haven't really seen a way of making my rooms cheaper, which would be nice. Well, I think the pick is Grain Bag here. Bookmark is actually pretty nice. Bookmark is quite a good round 1 occupation for me, or round 1 improvement for me, because I can play Raiding Maniac in round 4 with Bookmark, if I go 3 wood into Bookmark. I think though Grain Bag with Hill Cultivator, I've already kind of decided with Blacksmith I want to do crops. Hopefully, Helpful Neighbors comes back, and it might. The other three might get taken ahead of it. These four might get taken ahead of it. So, Helpful Neighbors is an Eremite miner. That seems okay. So if you're tuning in late, Field Warden makes my plow and plow sow actions at the end of the game unblockable. So with Giant and Ground Pickaxe Plow, I can plow 4 fields with 1 action, which is pretty ridiculous. Well, I'm not taking Piggy Bank. I don't have enough. I already have enough food usage with my Raiding Maniac and my Blacksmith. I think the pick here is Village School. Yeah, Fruitcake is fine. Fruitcake's pretty good. Um, Manger is fine, although I don't think, considering I'm gonna probably want to do a 4-room house and then 5 fields, Manger I think is not a good option here. So I'm looking at Fruitcake or Village School, and I guess Village School seems reasonable. Throw away my miners that I don't want to play with Eremite. The problem is with Eremite in hand, I don't want to play Village School until later. So, but I mean, the power of Village School plus Blacksmith is pretty hard to deny, like saving 2 stone on all the stone major improvements. Fruitcake with Grain Bag and Hill Cultivator is certainly something, but I don't know. And then this pick, I could take something like Stone Axe or Greenhouse. I think it's between those two. The timing on Greenhouse is a bit earlier, whereas the timing on Stone Axe is a bit more flexible. Um, yeah, Stone Axe, Greenhouse. I guess the nice thing about Village School is if I miss the timing on Greenhouse, I can always throw it away for a resource. And then this pick, edible roots, I guess. Considering I have crop rotator in hand, I should harvest my fields, the last good of my fields, more often than normal. And this pick, I guess snack time, I guess. Just in case I decide not to play Eremite. Alright, I need to BRB. It's funny, all the names in this game are too long. So it looks like the start player icon is over top of me, but it's actually not. This looks like a pretty easy Eremite round 1 play. Like, even if I only use it until round 5, it still will have gotten me 4 food and 1 wood, which is totally worthwhile. And I'm going to guess that it's probably going to be even a little better than that. Not playing an improvement in round, or minor improvement in round 1 is like not really all that hard. Does kind of stink having to give up on like being able to start player Reedstone Food, but sometimes Reedstone Food just falls into your lap naturally. So, ooh, here's a good card. Very, very good card. Oh, did I pass him? Oh man, I really hope JJ did not pass Country Doctor to him. If he did, then I think we can probably concede now, unfortunately. 2 wood is fine. Always good to note that Field Watchman took 2 clay over 2 wood. Might mean he wants the fireplace especially strongly. So then the question is always why. What can we infer from that? And JJ with bookmark. Hey, this is the play that I was talking about doing. So, oh, I get a food from my Eremite. I should announce that. And this is interesting. First action Plow from Kreuzberg Beer. Probably means he has like a 2 read cost, like maybe homework. Not exactly sure what that means. 3 wood looks good here. So ideally we would like 2 Reedstone Food actions or a 2 read action in round 4 to set us up for our first room. JJ plays Resource Dealer. If Expensive Ock comes back to me, I'll play my Raiding Maniac. It's quite early for it, but I would play it. It's because it'll be the best action on the board by quite a bit. Like, I don't really need 2 wood at all. I don't need 2 clay. And 2 food. I'd rather get better actions than 2 food. Oh, Charcoal Burner. Okay, so here's a pretty good reason. Here's an excellent reason to go for the first fireplace very strongly. We're gonna day labor here. It pays for an occupation. Yeah, Major Minor doesn't come until round 4. Interesting and cheap in round 3. Important to be aware of. So yeah, hoping to get 2 read round 4. So Field Watchman could just go ahead and pass me Reedstone Food. That would be nice. He might take wood. He has 3 read already. Maybe might go for the wood. Nope, Reedstone Food. Okay, that happens. So we're just going to take food. We're going to take food aggressively. We need a ton of it to make our game work. So, I think the way we're going to make this work is Writing Maniac is going to play Hill Cultivator round 5. It's going to play Blacksmith round 7. So we're going to assume that we get on the grain space in round 5 or round 6. Ideally twice, I guess. I guess I need grain and a clay action, or 2 grain actions. So I could maybe take 3 clay with my second action here. Yeah, so I'm thinking Hill Cultivator round 5, round 7 plays Blacksmith, Blacksmith plays Clay Oven or Stone Oven, and then round 9 Field Warden, and then round 11 Giant. That's kind of the way I'm thinking about it. And then Crop Rotator can come in round 14 if there's time and if the situation allows for it. It can also come in round 13 too. Both are options. But the nice thing about Field Warden, I'll be able to put off actually sowing my crops until really late in the game. Field Watchman plays Start Player's Salary, probably to guarantee themselves the 2 clay fireplace. I should take 3 wood then, because I don't want to pass a 6 wood action. I'm going to be taking Reed with my first move. So since I'm going to be taking Reed, my second action might be build a room, but I actually don't have to build a room depending on what JJ does, because nobody else is threatening room right now. Yeah, Field Watchman goes for that fireplace. Absolutely no surprise there. Obvious 2 Reed grab for me. I want to play Writing Maniac with my second action ideally. So that might mean we give JJ the first room. I think it's probably worthwhile to play Writing Maniac. Yeah. Oh, JJ played Wood Deliveryman. I didn't highlight that, sorry. Also, if there is Country Doctor out there, I don't really want to have to be competing with the surprise Country Doctor from Field Watch or from Kreuzberg Beer. That would be a big pain to have to deal with. I think when I build a room, do I build a couple stables? Thinking with Meadow, building a couple stables seems like a reasonable option, because if I build 2 stables, that's enough to hold 3 animals on my farm, and I'll get to 9 wood thanks to my Aramite. Okay, so H. Can I just do first letter or a last letter? No, 2 of them share R. Third letter E. A. There's 2 A's. I could do Dex. No, there's multiples. Yeah, first letter is fine. Although it does give away a lot of information. H, B, F, G. And I need to pay for that. So JJ could build a room here. There's also a 6 wood action potentially available. I don't think that's 6. Well, Kreuzberg might really want to sow. Might, like, sowing 2 grain this early is like pretty powerful. Builds the room, yeah. A little unfortunate for me because it means there's a very good chance I drop to 3rd or 4th family growth, but it just depends on the ordering of when it comes out. So now it's my hill cultivator. Yeah, so there is 6 wood available for Field Watchmen. Very nice action for them. It's quite a shame for me. 4 wood, 5 clay. I do want to take grain this round, I think. I think I'm going to pass on building in this round. I'll let Field Watchman go for it or not. Actually, if I take 5 clay, there's a chance that he takes 4 clay, and then I get build a room back. The other thing I could have done is start player, because JJ is not in a position to stable block. JJ plays Occupation Clay Hut Builder. Interesting, very interesting. So I have 5 food now. I collect 2 more food for my Eremite, assume I don't play any minor improvements, which is enough to pay for my... Oh, there it is. There's the Constable. Field Watchman might get 6 wood and 4 wood in round 5, which is pretty ridiculous. Builds a room. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, 1 green should come back to me next round, so I think I can safely take 4 wood here. And I have enough grain that taking, or clay, that taking grain once is enough. Yeah, Field Watchman has access to a ridiculous amount of food. Charcoal burner, hewer, the first sheep grab. He's got a large amount of food available. JJ start player Flamingo Lake. So I think what we have to kind of lean on is the fact that everybody's going to be competing for the Constable bonus, but except for us. Like, we should have a relatively easy time getting there because of our Field Warden. Yeah, should be quite easy for us to fill our farm. So there's family growth round 6, so we're regretting a little bit not taking start player, or not building a room, because now Crows is going to build a room and grow ahead of me, potentially. Although I do have C priority over him when Field Watchmen start players, so if he's not in a position to stable block, maybe I can jump ahead of him. We'll have to see what happens. Yeah, he does build a room with his first action. There's 6 clay available. Field Watchman should start player, so I have 6 clay coming around to me, which is actually quite good. like 6 clay plus blacksmith should be relatively easy to build the pottery, which would be nice. And then I could build a clay room for my 4th room. Yeah. Or I could double build wood rooms, because I've got 13 wood already. Could take 2 reed and then double build. That's an option. Mariska says build fireplace and then second move take grain. Yeah, if I really wanted to screw up the game. Field watchman, start player writing desk. So there's a lot, the occupations are going to flow. They're going to come out quickly. 6 clay or 2 reed. I think double building is very appealing to me. So I think I'll go for the double build. So that means taking 2 reed and then I'll take grain with my second action. Kind of sucks passing JJ the 6 clay. Yeah, with clay hut builder he's going to be able to build a ton of rooms, but not too much I can do about that. Oh no. Well, that sucks. I totally missed that he could build the clay oven. Oh man. Okay, so I'm not feeding with the clay oven anymore. Pottery seems fine. So I could read stone food and then build the pottery, or I could build the well, both of which are options. I think reedstone food into pottery is fine. Who's start player? Field watchman. Field watchman has the family growth, so I can get 6 wood next round. If I do that though, then I can't first action build to potentially jump ahead of crows, but then I can grow with my second action. So, all right. F aramite, and then I'll play pottery. So I just did my writing maniac before ending this round while I have control of the board, so I can actually put the pottery on my farm. Blacksmith means that like JJ can steal the well from Field Watchman if he's counting on it. There's some interesting stuff. So we get 6 wood. No complaints there. Rope fences, okay. So actually reed is going to be very tightly contested this game. Because I'm going to use, there's going to be a ton of, there's like no reed discounting. Well, I guess there is native, which is putting more reed into the game. Yeah, so reed won't be that tight actually. There's reed available on the resource dealer. This should be crows playing start player raspberries. Yep. So I have to build here. Well, actually, let's check first. How is JJ going to feed? JJ is the only person who can jump me, who can build ahead of me next round. Or Crows could take wood with his second action and then build first action round 8. Okay, so yeah. Unless Field Watchman takes wood, I have to build a room. But if Field Watchman takes wood, then maybe I can be greedy. No, Field Watchman plays Animal Breeder. That's pretty strong. And then Tanner with that. So we'll build our 2 rooms. The other thing I would like to do, yeah, so he needs to take food, but then he can take Reed with his other action. So actually JJ can't jump me. The only way I can be jumped is if Cruz takes 3 wood with this next action. And what would I gain? Like, if I don't and he doesn't do that, then I don't actually have to start player round 8, which is kind of appealing because it means my Eremite can go in longer and it saves me an action. So like what I could do is I could take Reedstone Food here and triple build, which would be crazy, but I could do it. Let's go for it. Eat clay. So 2 food and a clay plus F wood Eremite. So we'll go for the triple build, which is pretty ridiculous, but we'll try it. What I'll hope is that with Constable on the board, yes, beautiful. Kruz does not. Although Kruz might have Country Doctor. So this is where I need to be writing down the draft picks, because it'll tell me if Country Doctor is in Kruz's hand or in JJ's hand. I want to hope that JJ did not pass Country Doctor to someone with Native, but probably would not have been aware that he first picked Native, so may have passed it. It's very possible. But fortunately, Cruz is a couple actions away. Like, he family grossed this round, so to jump me, he would have to sow and play Country Doctor. So he's a couple actions away. So I think it's fine. I think I'm okay. He does sow with his first action, sow bake, yeah. So he probably does have Country Doctor. So hopefully he doesn't have a minor that lets him play an occupation, but I'm pretty sure that's not going to be the case. Do I need to first action build here? I guess it's possible that Field Watchman collects a wood from Charcoal Burner. 1, 2, 3, and 2 stables. The second action could take 2 Reed. 2 Reed would enable me to play Village School. Village School is pretty appealing for saving on my fencing and my reno for the rest of the game. So I get an F from JJ building the well. The other nice thing about Blacksmith, me being the one to play Blacksmith, there should be more stone available, so it means it should be possible for me to hit my 5-room stone house with yeah. Oh, that's a problem. So this is not a minor that lets him play an occupation. This is a minor that lets him gain an action after going on sow bake. Oh man. Oh no. It's theoretically possible that occupation gets blocked, but Oh, that's not good. Well, it looks like Giant is going to let me double family growth round 11, so that's kind of cool. So I could take Clay here, or I could take Reed. I'll take the Reed. It enables my village school and my grain bag. Then I can probably toss most of the rest of these minor improvements for resources. I imagine JJ Renos this round with a Reed on top of the resource dealer. Can like Reno Stone Oven very cheaply. And then that would activate the Clay Hut Builder. Which would be unfortunate because I wanted to build an oven, but I can build a cooking hearth and feed that way. I'm gonna be taking animals that I will have no use for anyways, because like my stables are gonna be awkward. So yeah. So the plan is ground pickaxe plow, giant plow sow in round 14 to cover 4 spaces. I should hopefully have 2 grain and 2 vegetable in my supply so that I can get nice crop points right at the end of the game. And then go for a 5-room stone house and make sure I have no negative points for constable. If I can make all those things happen, I have a very, very good chance to win. If I can make all those things happen. Yeah. That's unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. Because now what it means... Take an F from Aramite. Now what it means is I have to start player to protect my family growth round 10. Because Field Watchman and JJ... Oh no, Field Watchman is fencing. Okay. That makes me feel a bit better. Yeah, hopefully the fact that I have 3 rooms and Constable will scare the others away from building any more rooms. And they just focus on using their wood for fencing. JJ plays Home Garden. Surprised they didn't play an improvement. Maybe thinking they need the food. So here's my occupation for Writing Maniac. Field Warden. So 4 wood is good for me, 6 clay is good for me. Yeah, if I could get those 2 actions, I'd be pretty happy. Otherwise, taking a grain is fine. It's not great, but it's fine. So let's go for the 4 wood. I'm going to need a bunch of wood. The clay seems to be valued a little lower this game. Like Field Watchman has been focused on getting his fencing done for his animal breeder. There's a chance that the 6 clay comes back. Yeah, Jay goes for the 3 wood over the 6 clay. That makes a lot of sense just because of the just because of the fact that he's got clay hut builder, which is giving him way more clay than he needs. Yeah, field watchman fencing again. So I was right about that. And with no 2 read action available, my family growth round 10 should be safe. And then my double family growth round 11, I can take an action to protect that. Feed 4. 2 food clay. And then plus F wood era. All right, this is a game. Oh man, yeah, this is a game, that's for sure. Question: should I pay food? Should I pay stone or food for village school? I think the answer is I should pay food. I want to save myself as many resources as I can to make sure I can hit my stone house. Like I probably want to hit round 12 and round 13 ideally, because start player round 13 should be very highly contested. Field Watchman's play here is interesting to me. I'm not sure how they're planning to fill up their farm. So I'm very interested to see that. Maybe took something like Heavy Plow. Not going to go Greenhouse. I could. Wouldn't be awful. Yeah, it does get me the vegetable in round 14. I guess I'm comparing it to just taking vegetable twice. And with my hill cultivator, the vegetable is actually, like, the vegetable space is actually pretty good for me, considering I have pottery in hand. It'll also help me get a cooking hearth. So I think I'd rather just throw away greenhouse and play something else. Looks like Cruz is going to go for the stone oven. Okay, so do I need to start player? That is the question here. Giant really wants to hit family growth next round. I think the answer is yes, JJ will jump ahead of me if I give him the option. So I'm going to play village school here, pay a food to save. Pay F, save S. And I could still play greenhouse now with my second action. Or just don't play miners, yeah. Just Aramite all the rest of the way. JP says rip Aramite, died too soon. Did its job. Certainly did its job. So the only question for me now is how do I feed? Round 11, I'm going to need 8 food. I'm going to need 10 food actually when I play the giant. So that's a thing to consider. So here's a food from Blacksmith. There's a lot of resources on the board. JJ played the put all the resources on the board game. So the ovens are gone. It's not terrible for me. It would be nice to play grain bag before going on the 1 grain space, because I definitely want to build a cooking hearth at this point. So yeah, if I could work that somehow, if I could reno cooking hearth round 11, take vegetable, and then play grain bags or something like that. I'll have two minor improvement actions as well as the other thing to keep in mind. I have snack time in hand. This would be like one of the latest snack times ever, but giant double grow. Yeah, I'm definitely planning to giant double grow. So let's play. Yeah, we'll play greenhouse here. And we'll toss crop rotator. Who needs it to save a wood? 1, 2, 3, 4. Vegetable up here. So yeah, then I can play ground pickaxe plow and grain bag or snack time. I'd like to hold ground pickaxe plow, I guess, if I could. So if I could play grain bag and snack time, that would be fine. I do have meadow as well. I have a lot of stuff still to do. Yeah, so probably tossing snack time is better than playing it. Same with edible roots. Meadow will be questionable. It'll depend on how much wood I can get. So I'm at 6 food with my clay, with my pottery. So I need I need 4 food in round 11. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get probably Basket Maker's Workshop gets built. So I should get another blacksmith food. So I need a 3 food action. So I could just take 3 food, but if I could get animals, how many moves will I have? I'll have 2 free moves after family growthing. So yeah, I'm not gonna have enough to reno cooking hearth and take animals. I'll only be able to do one or the other, not both. Field Watchman plays small holder and pig breeder. He took pig breeder, even though Field Watchman has a reasonable hand for constable, even though he didn't see it. Like, pig breeder is a great constable hand. Small holder is kind of funny. Gives him room to hold animals in his. Normally, you don't have 5 2-space pastures. That's pretty unusual. Crows saves S, so that means I get a food. Whoops. So I play giant. I get to use the giant on the family growth space. So I will just take 4 food fishing because I think I need the food for this harvest. I would like to take 4 wood, but I think fishing is safer. The other thing I could do is I could save giant for reno in round 14. That's an option as well. Since I'm gonna have like random actions that are not gonna be worth very much. Plowing a field for 2 seems fine with Field Warden. Because I'm gonna have 15 actions 5 actions in round 12, 13, 14. That's a lot. Now, certainly a bunch of them are going to have to go into setting up my feeding in round 12 and round 13, because I'm going to need a lot of food. 4 wood came back. That's pretty nice. Definitely take 4 wood. Also, JJ did not build a room. What's he going to do with all that clay? I guess he built Clay Hut Builder, but like pretty early in the game. Like before he saw that I was triple building and hoarding all the reed and stuff. Crows plays, this is probably start player plum patch. Giant family growth. Play ground pickaxe plow. I'll save the wood by discarding snack time. And then I'll play grain bag. Because I don't mind going on the reedstone food space. I need stone, so going on reedstone food seems fine. And then 6 food, clay to feed. Ren Fireplace 2 maybe eventually. Yeah, if I could kick Cooking Hearth, I'd rather Cooking Hearth. Just because like it should be very easy for me to do, because with Grain Bag and with my Hill Cultivator, I want to go on the what am I saying? I want to go on the crop spaces with Hill Cultivator. They get me clay. So using that clay for Cooking Hearth and for my pottery seems fine. So I don't think I need the fireplace. I'd rather Cooking Hearth for sure. So this game was all about setup. And now I've got to start churning towards the end as quickly as possible. The only issue is, the only question is, am I too far behind already? Like, my point ceiling is much higher than my opponent's. With a 5-room house, 5 family members, my point ceiling is way higher. But JJ has the well and the stone oven, which helps with point ceiling a lot. And Crows has the Basket Maker's Workshop and Plum Patch and Omni Farmer. All those help your point ceiling. So it'll be a very heavily contested rest of the game. Seeing Plow Sow here is amazing. That is absolutely the best outcome for me, because I don't want any of these guys getting any extra actions. That is really good for me to see that. So I have to remember, Giant. Yeah, I don't actually have 15 actions. I have technically 12. Now, once per round I get to double an action, so I have to keep that in mind. Maybe I don't even play... I could not play Ground Pickaxe Plow. I guess I didn't think about that. I could double plow instead of playing Ground Pickaxe Plow. Although doubling 3 wood seems better than that, so yeah, it's probably still worth doing. Field Watchman. Oh, here's Witch's Dance Ground. So he accidentally drafted pretty good counters to Constable, which is funny. Let's Giant double the wood space here. So yeah, meadow seems not necessary anymore. I have enough wood. I can fence 13 here and then start taking animals. I only need 2 wood left. I only need to leave 2 wood for my ground pickaxe plow. So yeah, so I can toss meadow for a reed, and I can probably toss edible roots for a reed as well, or for a stone. depending on what actions are available to me. So 3 more moves. I really want to Reno this round, so taking vegetable into Reno seems like a good option to build the cooking hearth. I can try to plow and put a wood on the grain space. Oh, I like that. Get my wood back. Yeah. The thing is, the 14th wood is not worth anything. The 14th wood is not a point. Only the 15th. I don't think I care about 5 fields. I think 4 fields is well. Oh no, we're gonna see how things go. I think I take vegetable here. Finally activate my hill cultivator that I played like ages ago. Yeah, I want the grain bag to be activated before I go on grain anyway, so I want a Reno cooking hearth either way. JJ does build 2 more rooms. So there's point ceiling for you. Now they need to get on the plow and field space twice more, but they've got dung collector, so actually plowing should be very easy for the rest of the game. Like, this is actually very crazy. Dung collector, huge. Gonna let him plow twice more. Because of native, Cruz has already done all of his plowing, so the plow spaces are going to be easy for Field Watchman to get on, which makes my first pick Field Warden way worse. Which is too bad, but hey, that happens. It's part of the game. Field Watchman, Reno cooking hearth upgrade. Hey, I wanted that. Okay, so it looks like I should be planning on giant Renoing at some point. Like, that's actually going to be reasonably important for me to do. So until then, I should be... I like the plow combo here, actually. 1 grain should be safe. Yeah, I like that idea, Mariska. Wood here. Wood here. Nobody else wants clay, right? Yeah, putting it on the clay space should be safe. Then my last action can be take a grain. Grain, 2 clay, and a wood. Get the wood back. Seems fine. I could take an animal here as well. I guess taking animals is kind of important. Yeah, you know what? I might be greedy with that 1 grain action. No, you know what? Yeah, I guess JJ still needs to take grain. Or Reno fireplace. I can't Reno fireplace anymore because Field Watchman's on fireplace. I would have to first move Reno fireplace next round. I could just build the fireplace normally here. I still need to get all the animals. You are absolutely right about that. And in fact, I think what I do here... Who's start player? Field Watchman? So I have first move next round. So plow sow will be available. I could giant take 2 cattle. You know what? I think what I do here is I build the cooking hearth, and then I can giant take 2 cattle, gets me a bunch of food next round. And I'll toss a resource so that I still have the right number of clay. No, I won't do that. No, I'll just build. So I'll giant take 4 cattle. 3 of them stay on my farm. I eat 2 of them, and then it's a bunch of food, which I actually do need. So seems okay. The question, I think Field Watchman, I'm surprised he does that over family growth. I would probably have taken put a second person out here. Yeah, that's my plan. So I'll take grain, get 2 grain, and then take Reno. And I can toss edible roots to get a reed. Now the problem is there are 4 Reno actions that 5 Reno actions that people want. Everyone except for me wants to renovate still. So I'm actually thinking about doing start player to get the Reno, to get on the Reno space. Oh, you know what? I still need to get 2 types of animals, which is a problem. Grain, CC. And I get the wood back as well, which is nice. Yeah, it looks like I'm probably going to get screwed on probably going to get screwed out over on the animals, because crows needs 2 types of animals. So it doesn't seem like there's a way to do it, unfortunately. Don't have 50 moves, but just 12, yeah. Didn't I say that? Yeah, so it looks like probably the constable will be the difference. Crows isn't getting the constable bonus, and neither am I. And Crows played it, which probably means JJ wins, or Field Watchman wins. Probably JJ, because Field Watchman will have a hard time filling up his farm. Whenever you use an action space, immediately after on the space and take... I think you take from the space, not from the supply, and take one of the animals. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you take... Yeah, you have to take from the space. And this should be start player Winter Pond for Field Watchman. Yep. Two actions left. I would like to giant Reno. In order to giant Reno, I need reed and stone, because I can only activate my village school once per round, once per turn, I think. So taking reed and stone is not enough. That's not enough resources. So that means I probably can't get to a stone house here. So 5, toss, meadow, to save a read, and then play I guess I could go for fencing too. I'm also thinking about plow sow, but I'll plow sow at the end of the game. Yeah, I don't need to sow here. Do this, I think, is okay. And then fence with my last move. You know what? He's not actually able to reno. You know what? I'm not going to reno. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll keep the meadow. We'll fence with this action. And will I have time to potentially reno or plow twice next round? Yeah, let's gamble that I do. Although I could just discard. Yeah, you know what? I'll just discard anyways to do the 14th fence. Or 15th fence. I think that's okay. So if I take 3 stone here, and first action read stone food, and reno comes back to me, then I could giant double reno. That seems okay. Take boar and pray for sheep next round. Boar's not available. That was the problem. All the food, all the animals disappeared with like the first actions of this round. So that was my mistake. I needed to be taking animals in round 12, not doing whatever I was doing. I needed to be taking animals there. Next round, take boar and pray that sheep comes back. I can do that, yeah. Yes, because getting the constable is more important than renovating to a stone house. Everyone has sheep, yeah. Okay, so what move is this? Yeah, 3 stone is not enough. 4 stone is not enough, actually. 3 stone would have to be followed by re-stone food to get double reno. Okay, so if I need 2 animal actions, first action take boar, second action take sheep, then I would have 2 actions left in the round, which would not be enough to plow and double reno. So I think I just plow sow here to get it out of the way. I do end up 1. If I plow sow at the end of the next round, I get an extra vegetable. Yeah, I could plow sow, yeah. It does make me 1 vegetable short, but that's probably not going to be the difference. The difference is going to be, do I get constable or not, so. Sure, let's plow sow. So then I feed 4 food, a clay, and a cattle. Eat A to buy incoming B. Never mind, don't eat a... Yeah, Chris is at a stone house now. So the double Reno dream is alive. It's alive. It has to come after the 2 sheep, and it has to come, like, Field Watchman has to totally ignore Reno himself. Which, I do have Village School in hand, so it's possible. Problem is, it's probably going to be worthwhile for someone to block the sheep action from me. It's probably going to be worth it for them to do that. But you never know. It is only 1 sheep. It's a pretty weak action compared to everything else, but... Don't see double Reno as possible. No. I don't think it is. Well, JJ needs crops, so... Yeah, maybe the sheep does come back. Field Watchman... Field Watchman has to build stables. So Field Watchman would have to decide that I'm a big threat to them. Yeah, I'm going to end up with a pretty nice score, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Don't think so. Oh, sheep came back. So that's cool. Constable achieved, but at the cost of getting to a stone house. Oh, I should be doubling something. I didn't double. I should have maybe doubled the boar action for an extra point. Oh, well, I should have actions that I can I should have an action that I can double at the end of the game here for points. Like clay. If I double the 6 clay action, that should be worth points. That should be at least 8 point, or double traveling players. Who got 4 points for animals? Me? Yeah, I did get 4 points from taking the animals. Yeah, I see what you mean. Just from going from -1 to +1. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If I double, yeah, I agree. Double 6 clay, then I can build fireplace for a point on Reno. I like that. Pretty sure crows will want Reno fence. And even if I don't get it, doubling gets me 1 more point from my pottery. So that should work. Yeah, there's the field, there's the pastures. You know what? 6 wood, 5 wood, that tells me he's going to reno pottery. How does he cover the last space, though? Does he figure 1 field comes back? I don't know. Giant 6 clay. So Field Watchman gets the Constable bonus with his nice Tanner points. He does have a smaller family, like only 4 people, 3-room clay house. Our crop points are comparable. I'm gonna have to eat a ton of animal points though, which is a problem. Yeah. JJ getting the Constable, I think, is probably the game deciding factor. Constable plus Stonehouse, 5-room Stonehouse, just so many points. Probably an insurmountable amount of points. Yeah, I ended up not having enough actions this game, which is funny. Should have had more than enough actions, but I did not. You cannot be last with well. What do you mean? You're saying if you build the well, you never end up in last? Is that what you're saying? Oh, he did do it. Why? Why doesn't he want the Constable bonus? Raspberries doesn't actually occupy the space. I guess he's plowing with his last move. Okay. It's fine. I still got 1 point from doubling the clay. Would have been 2 points if I built the fireplace as well. He doesn't have born cattle. Oh, that's right. So yeah, Constable is not worth filling for him. Okay, yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. Would have been awesome if I could have gianted double growth here, but wasn't in the cards. We'll eat 2 cattle and a clay. And I need to actually pay for the reno, which I didn't do. So this is what I score, plus 5 for the joinery, or 5 for the Constable, and that is all. Kruz says, should pick the Animal Buyer. Yes, Animal Buyer, very good in a Constable game. So I scored 52, but it's not going to be enough to beat JJ. Yeah, not even close. Well, I did say if I get to a stone house, then I'll probably win. But I did not manage to get to a stone house and get the Constable. So that was pretty much the difference. JJ gets to that house and I don't. I'm going to end up in second, but it's going to be a pretty distant second. Yeah. JJ's already showing 52 on their farm. Yikes. No negatives, lots of pastures, well, stone oven. Yep. It's like a 59-point farm. Cruz says 51. And JJ 59. Yep. Getting to a stone house. Pretty huge. I'm missing a bunch of animal points, which I should have had. Overall, though, I'm not too unhappy with how this went. First pick Field Watchman. It was a weird game. The fact that I got jumped by the Country Doctor was and then the Country Doctor ended up in third without getting the Constable bonus. Like, that was very unfortunate. Giant double growthing was pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'm too unhappy with this game. I think it went okay. I had a couple dead actions in stage 1, like when I took day labor, that kind of thing. Would have been way better if that had been a 1 grain action and then built a clay oven. But pottery ended up being okay. Yeah. Hard to compete with. Like, look at Field Watchman's picks here. Charcoal burner, animal breeder, hewer. And he ended up in last, which is pretty hilarious. Because what did he score? Like 49, 48? Field Watchman with all these amazing well, not all of them. Like Smallholder, Pig Breeder, Tanner, not great, but these three are amazing. I guess his minors weren't that good. Raiding Desk is fine. Witch's Dance Ground was good. Winter Pond is good. Rope Fences is fine, yeah. Yeah, Village School. Good card. Gotta keep taking Village School. Yeah, I think probably the problem was I just didn't have enough actions. I thought I was going to have more actions to get all my stuff at the end of the game. So the fact that I got delayed an extra round on Family Growth hurt. And the fact that I had to start player to Family Growth, Giant Family Growth in round in round 11, that hurt as well. It would have been way better if I could have just done that without having to start player. But I was worried about JJ jumping ahead of me. So. Giant was not good. Yeah, I mean, double growing, it was good. Double growing got me actions. It didn't do much in round 14. Yeah, usually you're counting on it getting you some nice... I mean, doubling the 3 wood space was actually very relevant. Because it did get me to that 15 wood mark, which was very important. Because if I didn't get 3 wood, I would have had to do a 2 wood action as well, which would have been like 14 wood only. Yeah, I mean, it got me a couple points, but it wasn't the hero it sometimes can be. That's for sure. Yeah. I'm actually quite happy with Eremite. I think it was quite good. But not enough. Big game from JJ, 59 points. Yeah, you expect that when Constable comes out as early as it did. Always unfortunate when the person who plays Constable doesn't actually get the bonus. Very unfortunate. Anyways, that's going to be all from me. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this little video. Probably won't stream for the next couple days. Earliest time will be next weekend, is my guess. Probably on Saturday. So look for me then. I might stream randomly in the afternoon this week, but probably not. Probably next time will be Saturday. So yeah, I'll see you guys then, and thanks for tuning in. Bye.